Foldable devices are finally starting to reach a point of iteration. A point where they're not just cool because they have foldable screens, but also because they're versatile and reliable. Case in point, the likes of Samsung are up to their 3rd, 4th, or even 5th generation foldable phones. But there's another company that's pushing the boundaries in a way that makes me particularly excited about the future of foldable devices. Recently, Honor took the wraps off of the Honor Magic V2, which makes a pretty big claim that it's the thinnest foldable phone out there. But thinness isn't enough just on its own. Does the Honor Magic V2 truly deliver magic? If, like me, you're obsessed with foldable phones and tech in general, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Really helps support my work and I'd appreciate that support. First and foremost, let's talk about the main attraction, the thinness of the phone. One of the biggest downsides of foldable phones has been their bulkiness when folded up. But it seems like with the introduction of the Honor Magic V2, those days might just be behind us in the very near future. Remarkably, when it's folded, it presents a thickness not too far removed from regular slab phones. If you're wondering about the specifics, the model offers a mind-boggling thickness of just 4.7mm when unfolded. So, for those of you tired of the hefty devices that have been populating the foldable market, the Honor Magic V2 is undoubtedly a breath of fresh air. The device doesn't necessarily feel cheap or flimsy either. To be clear, I could break the phone relatively easily, but that's true of most foldable devices. In my experience, if you're careful in how you use the Honor Magic V2, you should have no problem. In the hand, it feels very sleek and quite well built. The overall form of the device is very usable too. When folded, the device isn't quite as wide as the likes of the Google Pixel Fold, but I still found the front display to be wide enough to type on, and I ended up using it for most quick tasks, like texting and browsing social media. Like with any adequately sized foldable, I find that I use the front display for most tasks, opening it up for entertainment and occasional on-the-go work. Really, this could well be the perfect form factor for a foldable phone. I prefer the wider size of the Pixel Fold to the candy bar form factor of the Galaxy Z Fold 5, for example. But the Pixel Fold can sometimes feel a little too wide. The Magic V2 kinda serves as a middle ground. That means that the keys on the keyboard are a little smaller than the typical smartphone, but as someone that can seemingly still see fine and type with precision, I don't mind. Give me a few more years and these eyes may not be quite as good. However, it's not all roses. There's a bit of room for improvement in one key area. Hinge design. Although the hinge isn't bad, it's not infinitely adjustable like some of the competition. You'll notice that after a certain level, the screen snaps open. This isn't a deal breaker by any means, but it doesn't match the Pixel Fold's excellent stability at any angle, which remains in place no matter what the degree of folding. Everything else about the design of the phone is pretty much expected. On the sides, you'll get the volume buttons and power button, which handily has a built-in fingerprint sensor. On the bottom can be found the USB-C port, and on the back, the camera module. The cover display, a 6.43-inch LTPO OLED screen, offers a sharp enough 1060p resolution and up to a 120Hz refresh rate. Unfolding the phone reveals the larger 7.92-inch LTPO OLED screen with a 2156 by 2354 resolution and also up to a 120Hz refresh rate. Both screens look great. They're colourful and vibrant, and they both get impressively bright, easily bright enough to be viewable in direct sunlight. The cover display does get that extra bit brighter than the internal one, but really both are bright enough for any situation. The speakers on the phone are fine. They deliver a decent frequency response for built-in speakers, however they don't really get that loud. If you need a little more oomph from your phone's speakers, you'll need to look elsewhere. The Magic V2 comes powered with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor and a solid 16GB of RAM, which is on par with other high-end foldable smartphones. In practical terms, this translates into excellent performance. I was able to multitask seamlessly and load heavy games without any noticeable lag or stutters. The Magic V2 was able to handle everything I threw at it with ease, including performing among the pinnacle of Android phones in a Geekbench 6 CPU test. The phone is equipped with a 5000 mAh battery, which may not seem massive, especially considering it powers two very bright screens. But let me tell you this, during my usage, it managed to get me through a full day most of the time. You may have to plug it in for a quick top-up if you're a heavy user, but I was impressed with the overall battery given how thin this phone is. The charging process, however, is not wireless, a feature we're accustomed to in 2023. But there is a silver lining. It does support 66-watt wired charging, which means that it'll charge quicker than much of the competition, including the Pixel Fold and the Galaxy Z Fold 5. The device features a triple camera system on the rear. It includes a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 20-megapixel telephoto camera with 2.5x optical zoom. Overall, it's a good assortment of cameras, making for a versatile camera experience. However, I couldn't help but wish the zoom was a little better on the telephoto camera. In brightly lit conditions, the camera generally managed to produce vibrant and detailed images using all three lenses. As anticipated, the image quality begins to falter as you increase the zoom, but up to roughly 5x zoom, the results remain high quality. The phone's low light photography was also commendable, though not as good as that of the Pixel Fold. The camera system is not without its flaws, of course. I noticed it had a bit of a hard time handling lighting on the edges at times, and the camera's consistency left something to be desired. In low light environments, thankfully, the phone captured some pretty good images, though again, it wasn't quite as good as some of the competition, like the Pixel Fold. Despite these minor issues, the Magic V2 delivers excellent camera quality for the most part. Then there's the software, which I'm going to breeze over real quick. A quick note on software. I'm using the global version of the V2 before it has been officially released, so the software isn't final. I'm not going to talk much about the quality of the software, but I will say that despite the bloatware, it's been mostly smooth so far. The Honor Magic V2 really has a lot going for it. It's stunningly thin, and despite that thinness, it still offers a solid battery life, good performance, and more. I was actually shocked at the quality of this phone, as when I first took it out of the box, I definitely assumed that it would sacrifice things like camera quality and battery life for thinness. But it didn't. Honor built a very compelling phone that pushes the boundaries for foldable phones in general. You can get the Honor Magic V2 for yourself using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!